Crayons? Oh, you're an art classic, but one I do usually avoid. You're just so waxy. Hey there, come on in, because as you can see, I have a fresh pack of crayons from Hobbycraft and I have an urge to try and draw with them. I know Crayola are everyone's faves in this area, but this pack was 50p cheaper and double the colours, so I was swayed. These are the sticks of chaos that we have to play with. Quite a good range of colours, and would you believe it, I actually swatched the little doodahs. Artist points! However, I swatched them on paper that later I didn't use for the drawings, so in some ways my swatches are slightly pointless. Artist points revoked. But it gives an idea of what they could look like. Having not used any other crayons for years, I can't remember how good Crayola's or any other brands are, but these seem all right to me, so far as in my expectations are low, and I don't really much like them as a material. But let's go and see if we can make crayons my new favourite art thing. You just never know. Okay, so this could be my first mistake because I am deciding to use this Bristol Board paper. In honesty, I didn't really think much about its surface in relation to crayons. I just liked its handy square size and wanted to try it. Let's peel a page from the block and pop some washi tape around the border to make us feel like this is going somewhere. Procrastination, pretending to be productivity. Okay, what to draw? I found this photo in my stash of reference pics and I know, the flowers are white. What's the point of using colour crayons to draw these? But I don't know, I can always just colour them different if I want, and I just really like the shapes. I grab a peachy crayon to start sketching and it probably looks like nothing on screen. Yeah, nothing to see here. So then I get a grey crayon and start sketching with that. I mean, I can't say I'm enjoying it yet. It all feels a bit wibbly and waxy and weird. But let's give it a bit longer and see what we can do. After laying down some green in the background, I'm overlaying it with some blue. It feels like I need to make the background colour more interesting because the green on its own feels gappy. It's funny because I'm very much a gal who can appreciate texture in materials, but the rough application from the crayons on this paper is not doing it for me. I think the paper is too smooth for them because it's like the wax just slides off. Weirdly, some colours stick better than others. The yellows are really difficult to lay down, but darker colours are working better. After the blue, I decide to get a bit scrapey and grab a craft knife. I've seen other people scrape away the upper layer of wax from crayon art and just leave colour residue beneath. And this is what I'm thinking will happen here. However, it turns out this Bristol Board paper is so smooth that the knife can pretty much pull up the whole colour. This is both a letdown and a surprising win. Although I can't smooth out the crayon colours with the knife as planned, maybe I can draw inside the wax with the knife instead. After my experimental scraping, I go over the area in black. It feels like the only way to make the white flowers pop more. I then add some blue to the petals, only to scrape it away again with the knife, trying to get a subtle colour and shading into them. I also use the knife on the petal edges to re-whiten them and make them crisp against the rough black. This may not have a massively noticeable effect, but boy, was it satisfying and calming to do. It turns out I like scraping wax. Who knew? I carry on this way, adding colour, then scraping it back for a little while because it feels like fun to experiment with, and I can see if I can somehow rescue this muddy sketch. peeling the tape off and, yep, ripping the paper because the washi got annoyed, I am left with something I'm feeling incredibly average about. I don't dislike it, because I learned a lot from it, but it's not going up on the wall anytime soon because, well, it's a bit weird. I really enjoy the crackly scraped lines in the black and some of the colour in the petals, but overall, I think it feels a bit undercooked. However, all of that knife scraping has spurred me on to try another sketch because now I want to make scraping the main star of this crayon show. Heck, when you find a thing you like, you should do more of it. So this next one is going to be using this moody sheep photo I took. Look at those fluffy little butts. For this one, I'm going to lay down layers of crayon wax and then use the smoothness of the paper in my favour, using the knife to scrape away the image. It's essentially creating a homemade version of those scratch kits that you might have had as a kid. I figure I'll lay down pink, then blue, and finally black to hopefully create a layer with the possibility for different tones to peep out as I scrape. And then I grab a craft knife and start scraping. The first ones are very much hold my breath moments because I really don't want to scrape it wrong. I'm essentially drawing with the knife by pulling out the highlighted spaces. Little by little, by bringing back the white of the paper underneath, I can tease out the sheep and the landscape around them. Side note, I hope the audio is okay in this video. After filming this, I broke my arm and I am currently editing and recording the voiceover one-handed. Speaking directly into my phone was easier than setting up my proper microphone, so I hope it's friendly enough on your ears. I am so flippin' happy with that first sheep. Of course, once you manage to do one pretty okay thing, the pressure is on to keep the ability going. Sheeps 2 and 3 are still to come and are trickier because I need to get them the right sizes in relation to the first one. I really love how the landscape is coming out too though, with the pinky blue scratches mottling and blending. Using the knife differently in different areas, keeping it flat for larger, brighter scrapes and more upright for thinner, spikier scratches, creates variation and helps this textured surface become easier to read. This is no doubt a very messy process. Scraping all of this wax off of the paper means my desk is covered with tiny wax flecks which stick onto the surface. They are everywhere. In trying to clean them up, I made the mistake of using a damp cloth and that just stuck them down even further. In the end, I used a cleaner with alcohol in it to get them off. But the best way is just to brush them off when they're dry, I think. Amazingly, I didn't rip the paper on this peel away. Hurrah! I am super happy with this. I think the sheep look enough sheep-like and all of the textures work really well. If nothing else, I found this sheep crayonathon to be really rather relaxing because the knife work made me focus in a really calm way. Let me know if you like using crayons and if so, is there a particular paper that is best for them? Although this Bristol board didn't work for general crayon drawing, I can definitely recommend it for waxy scraping art. Isn't it great when you find a new thing to enjoy? If you're still here with me, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this random crayon ramble. Please do consider hitting the like button if you fancy supporting my channel for free. And I very much hope we can meet up again in my next video. Stay curious, keep making happy, and I'll see you next time.